Check this out. Girls go to college to get more knowledge. Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider? My 3 nephews are 10, 8, and 7 years old. They, like me, are growing up as black boys in America. And they, like me, will one day be black men in this country. Hoping to do things like finish high school, go to college, find a job, land in a decent career, hey, maybe even play in the NBA, buy a home or 2, retire their parents, have a good life. But they, like me, will face systemic barriers that'll get in the way of their success. As a child, I remember hearing that playful playground saying about boys going to Jupiter. Some of you have heard it as well. But that playful playground saying is eerily reflective of the severe and widening opportunity gap that exists for black men who aspire to the highest levels of education and the highest levels of leadership in the workforce. So where's Jupiter, right? If we're not going to college to get more knowledge, where are we ending up? Well, did you know that according to the United Negro College Fund, only 40% of black men who start a college degree will finish it within 6 years? Did you know that black boys are among the most expelled and among the most suspended students in K-12 schools all across America? Did you know that according to the U.S. Bureau of Justice statistics, 1 in 4 black men will spend some time behind bars before he's 40 years old? Black men have among the highest rates of unemployment and among the lowest rates of high school completion. And while making up only 6.7% of the American population, black men make up almost as much as 37% of the American male prison population. Uneducated, incarcerated, and underemployed. That's Jupiter. But we are not destined for Jupiter. You see, black men exist among the stars as well. We are lawyers and doctors and therapists and dentists and astronauts and everything in between. We could be writers and bakers and entrepreneurs and all things. And this interwoven system of underrepresentation and oppression that we are caught in, it's not for lack of brilliance. It's not for lack of ability. We are powerful beyond measure. And from a single spark, a roaring fire can burn. One. Sometimes that's all it takes is one. One also happens to be the total number of black men who I had the privilege of learning from in school between preschool and 12th grade. Dr. Peter Archer, jazz musician turned middle school band teacher. He also just so happens to be the man who the Disney Pixar movie Soul was based on. Give it up for Dr. Archer. Dr. Archer was the only teacher who I saw my identities as a black man represented in. And by simply existing in that space, he gave me permission to do the same. He showed me that being the first or an only or among a very few can be life-changing for the people around us. Dr. Archer was an only at Nathaniel Hawthorne Middle School, but luckily, he wasn't my only black educator. You see, I come from a family of educators. My sister is an educational director at a preschool in New York City. My dad is a college professor. My mom is an asthma health educator and nurse practitioner. And my great-grandmother, Ksenia Webb, she got her advanced degree, a master's in special education at a time in American history just decades after anti-literacy laws were struck down, which makes me a fourth-generation master's degree holder. It takes a village. Dr. Archer showed me that I mattered at school, but that was reinforcing what I was hearing at home. It takes a village. Dr. Archer was the only black man in my middle school, but luckily he wasn't my only black educator. But with so few black men in education, many of us, I would say probably most of us, go our entire academic career without seeing a single black man at the front of the classroom. And what happens, right? What happens when black boys see underrepresentation in the classroom and face expectations of failure from their teachers? What happens when we're told, you don't matter? Well, I'll tell you, we end up on Jupiter. So what do, right? How do we fix it? Where do we start? I believe that the solution lies somewhere inside of sense of belonging research, specifically this theory of mattering. I believe that if black boys know that they matter from a younger age, they'll be more likely to be academically and professionally successful. But here's the thing, we have to start early. It's Frederick Douglass who says, it's easier to build strong children than it is to repair broken men. And building up the mattering of black boys, it's going to take everyone. And it can be simple. As simple as, for example, my mom, who every single day after school would ask me a very important question growing up. She would ask me, what did you learn today? Because my education matters. Or my father, who still to this day will say after every single phone call, I'm proud of you, son, because my encouragement matters. Or my grandmother, who would say, Jacob Jackson Small, you're a handsome young man. Because my confidence matters. Or my coaches who would check on me outside of practice, because my full sense of self and somebodiness, it matters. How do we replicate this contagious sense of mattering for black boys all across America? Well, we start with connecting black boys to their schools and connecting those same schools to communities and to families. We start with compassion. We start with communities of care that know how to leverage love and mattering as tangible and practicable tools to empower black boys and thereby emancipate black men from this interwoven system of underrepresentation and oppression that we're caught in. Black boys need to matter. Black boys need to matter. We need to matter to our law enforcement agents. Enough not to be gunned down. We need to matter to our teachers. Enough to receive the benefit of the doubt when we make what are developmentally appropriate mistakes in the classroom. We have to matter to our healthcare providers. Enough to receive accurate and proactive diagnoses. Listen, we gotta matter to our political figures and the media and to our peers. We have to matter to ourselves. Enough to recognize our own worth and potential. Enough to be the ones to remind us that we matter, especially in those moments when we start to forget. Black boys need to matter because our lives depend on it. And because the academic and professional advancement of black men, it relies on the mattering of black boys. Black boys need to matter in every facet of our society. And no advancement program or initiative is going to make any meaningful or sustained step towards shifting the narrative until Black boys matter. We have this collective societal fear of what will happen if the Black man is free, if he is educated, if he is rich. Well, I, probably many of you, fear what will happen if he is not. I fear the society will continue to perpetuate if Black boys continue to exist in what Dr. Roderick Carey out of the University of Delaware calls marginal mattering. And mattering is about more than just, it's about more than just individual self-worth, although that's nice too. It's about the collective strength and resilience of our entire society. When Black boys know that they matter, when we feel seen and supported and valued in our communities, the benefits extend far beyond our own lives. When we matter to our teachers, we engage in our education with enthusiasm and determination. We're more likely to show up to school, participate, and even consider pursuing higher education. This active and excited engagement with formal learning, it leads to increased individual and collective educational attainment, which drives progress in every single professional field. When we matter to our community leaders, we ourselves begin to aspire towards leadership roles and ambitious career pathways. We give to our society, and our society benefits from a more diverse and inclusive leadership landscape. When we matter to our political leaders, our experiences begin to drive legislation. We become more civically engaged. Neighborhoods become safer, streets become cleaner, rates of violent crime start to drop. We build more unified and resilient societies. Put simply, when we know we matter, everyone benefits. And an investment in Black boy mattering is an investment in the future we all deserve to see. And again, it starts here. It starts with my mom and my dad's constant support. And the fact that my siblings cheer louder than every other family at every single graduation. And it's my message for every Black boy, including the ones that live inside of every Black man. I see you. You are important. You matter. Your existence in this world, it matters. In fact, it's essential. You are placed on this earth to do something magnificent, something that only you can do. And in everything you'll accomplish, and in every obstacle you'll face, you are brilliant. I see you. I love you. And you matter. I'll end where I began. My 3 nephews, James, Aaron, and Justin, they are 10, 8, and 7 years old, and they, like me, are growing up in a family where they're told every single day, you matter. And I can't wait to see where they'll end up. Thank you. Thank you.